father got initiated. There are some very old stories. There's a story about Sardar Bahadur, Jagat Singh, who became the master after Baba Sahib Singh. He was master for a short while. But there's a very interesting story just before he became master, which might interest you. He was living in a house slightly away from the great master's house. And the great master used to call him sometimes after dinner for some work, for some talk, for showing him some letters that came from satsangis. So one day, by that time, more ladies came into the campus. So there were 3 ladies. Bibi Ruko had passed on by that time. And 3 ladies named Bibi Rali, Bibi Lajo and Bibi Rakhi. 3 ladies came in. And they managed the affairs of the Dera. So Bibi Lajo went to ask Sardar Bahadur, Jagat Singh, to come and see the master because master was calling him. Master said, go and call Jagat Singh, I want to talk to him. That was about 10 o'clock at night. She went down the stairs to the house and said, the great master is calling you. So he said, okay, I'm just coming. So he came. In the meantime, great master was busy, maybe changing in one of the rooms. And so Baba Jagat Singh came outside and knocked at the door. And the same lady, Bibi Lajo, opened the door. He said, oh, you have come? Hold on. I'll just inform the great master. Then she just closed the door to go and inform the great master and bolted it and went to tell the great master. Somehow she saw the great master was in the bathroom. She waited. Then she got busy with something else and she forgot about it. And there was another staircase from the other side, from the kitchen side. And she locked the house. Great master retired in his bedroom and she locked the house and went down and went to sleep. In the early morning, she came back from the kitchen side, brought a cup of milk for the great master, maybe about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and told the great master that I have brought this. He said, I thought I had called somebody at night. And she said, oh, yes, I had gone to Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh to call him. And I forgot. When he came to the door, I said, wait here. And I just informed the great master. I hope he's not waiting still. She ran out and opened the door. And he was waiting there. All night he stood and waited. The great master wants me. And the lady in charge says, wait. So he waited all night. He didn't think of knocking again. He didn't think of going back. There was a love and devotion, which now looks like a story. How these people became masters. With a kind of love and devotion which is hard to believe. Some satsangis, after the great master's passing on, were very disappointed because they missed the great master who had initiated them. And they said, it's true, Sardar Bahadur is a very good satsangi and he is full of devotion. But maybe he is not the same guru, the same master. We had lost our master. So some of them decided to go and consult the new master. When they went there and they put their heads down, they felt that they heard the voice of Baba Sahib Singh. They opened their eyes and there was Baba Sahib Singh standing. It took them several minutes before they could realize that no, it was Sardar Bahadur Jagat Singh. This experience happened several times after Sardar Bahadur became master. And then they were convinced that there is no difference between masters. That all the masters are the same. And only they perform their role and they deal with their marked sheep, their own allotted quota of human souls whom they have to help. During that period, my mother-in-law had an interesting experience with Sardar Bahadur. I can narrate that because it happened within my own personal knowledge. She was afraid to travel and she used to say that whenever she had a problem of traveling alone, she could go to the great master and say, Great master, I am going there. Is it all right? Safe? Will my job be done? And the great master used to close his eyes and say, yes, go without fear. It's all right. You remember? And then she said, now great master is gone. How can I travel? And she had to travel up in the hills all alone in buses, changed buses. She said, it's very difficult. What will I do now? Somebody suggested, masters are the same. Why don't you go to Sardar Bahadur, master, and ask for his help? So she went to Sardar Bahadur and asked if she could go. He said, sure. Are you afraid? He said, no, but I thought I could come to the great master and he would always give me help and support on the way. I would never run into difficulty. Now I didn't know whether I should come to you or not, but I have come. And the Sardar Bahadur said, no, the master will be with you as before. So she left on the journey. In the bus, she had a very strange experience. She sat on one side. On the other side, Sardar Bahadur was sitting. She says, how come you also came along? She didn't know that it was only her own vision. She thought he was actually traveling. He said, don't worry, I'm taking care of you. She traveled, changed buses. He traveled along with her. She said, where are you going? He said, I'm going where you are going. And he stayed with her all the time in visible physical form. And every time wherever she went, she would go to buy a book at the bookstore. He would go with her. He wouldn't leave her for a second. She recalls and she told me that ultimately she had to go to the restroom and say, please, Sardar Bahadur, now you stay out. And she had this personal experience with Sardar Bahadur Maharaji, Sardar Bahadur Master. With the present Master also she had a very interesting experience. So I'll tell that story also. She used to complain that her problems were taken care of by the great Master who initiated her. Now who will take care of her problems? Even Sardar Bahadur has gone. He stayed as a master for a short while. He says, look, my house is not built. I've been trying to build my house and complete it for years. The land is there. We've got the material. We can't build it. We don't have the money. That man took the loan from us. He's not giving the money back. Not returning the loan. Look at that guy. He's not doing this. Look at my son. Eldest son. He's gone to Minneapolis in the USA. Settled down there. Married an American girl. Doesn't want to come back. I'm left high and dry. If these problems had come before me earlier, I would have gone to the great Master and said, Master, what is this going on? And he would say, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Who can I go to now? When this was happening, she talked to me also about these problems. And I suggested to her, why don't you talk to the present Master? There's no difference in Masters. So, she says there's one difficulty of talking to the present Master, Baba Charan Singh. Because he's so young, he knows me as a sister-in-law. He calls me Bhabiji, that means sister-in-law. And he pats me on the back and he has got such an informal way of dealing with me. I don't know if I can treat him as a master. I don't know how I can talk to him. But those masters were full of awe and were at a distance from me. But this one is so informal with me. I don't know what to do. He comes, asks for some cookies and takes some drink from my fridge and chats around like any member of the family. How can I ask him for these things? But I said, you may try. She said, I can't try. As it happened next week, the present Master went over to her house. And when he went over, he said, now what's cooking and so on after those informalities. He sat down next to her and said, now tell me, whatever you want, you tell me what you want. Ask what are your wishes so that they can be fulfilled. She was taken aback. She says, you mean seriously? He said, I mean very seriously. Whatever you want will be given to you. Ask what you want. She said, oh, is it really true? He said, yes, it's true. Whatever you ask now will be given to you. She said, okay, let me think. She says, maybe my house should be completed soon. He said, that will be completed within the year. It will be completed very soon. She says, that's good. And we should also get that money back, the 25,000 bucks that man owes us. He said, all right, you'll get the money back also. What else? She said, oh, my younger son, he couldn't get through in the examinations. He should also pass in his exam so he can get a job. Okay, he'll also pass. What else? He said, well, there was another financial matter which was not being settled. That should also be settled. He said, that will also be settled. What else? She said, what else? He said, I can't think of anything else. He said, no, think again. You may like to wish for something. Whatever you will ask, you will get. She said, I don't think I can think of anything else at the moment. He said, no, whatever you ask, now you ask, you'll get it. He said, I think I've got all I wanted. I don't think I can ask for anything more. He said, all right, whatever you have asked, you will get. After that, very soon, all these things he got. And I went to her and I said, are these the 4 things you asked for? The great master, the present great living master gave you an unlimited opportunity to ask for anything. You could have asked for Sachkhand. You could have asked for him. You could have asked for love of the master. And this is all you asked for? He says, yes, I made a mistake. I missed out one thing. Said, what did you miss out? I missed out about my son in America. That's an interesting story about the present master. In 1955, the present master wrote a letter to me. I was then posted in one of the hill districts. And he wrote to me that he would like to come and stay in my house for a few weeks. along with his kids and along with his brother-in-law's kids. I was in a place called Kandaghat. I had a big house with 5 bedrooms, official house, in my civil service position. So the present master, he came and stayed with me. I was a bachelor, not married at that time. He came and he said, I'll take care of all your cooking, your kitchen, everything. You're a bachelor, you don't bother. You got ladies in the family. The master's wife was there. The master's wife's brother and the wife's brother's wife were there. So he said, a lot of kids are around. They'll take care of everything. You be our guest in this house. I said, that's fine. Suits me fine. I always like if somebody else takes over from me. I said, if the master takes over, what else does one need? So we had about 3 weeks of holiday at that time in 1955. After 3 weeks, the master came to me and he said, you have a beautiful house. You have a beautiful environment, lovely place. The only thing that's missing is the one that I have for you. I said, what is that? I thought I was initiated long ago. What else am I missing? He said, you're missing a wife. And I said, am I? He said, yes, there's a girl who is going to be your wife. I said, where is she? He said, she is in Delhi. And I picked her out for you. I said, that's fine. So he said, would you like to talk to her? I said, my mother is in Delhi, she can talk to her. I made a long distance call to my mother. I said, the master is here. He says, I need a wife. And the girl is in Delhi, about 200 miles away. Would you like to see her and decide if she is suitable for me? We have arranged marriages like this. My mother said, but if the master says she is right, what is there for me to see? You say yes. So I said, my mother says yes, so I say yes. And the master said, fine, now we'll fix the date of the wedding. And that's how I got married to my present wife. So very often I have thought that my wife is a gift to me from my master, from the present master. This happened in the summer of 1955. I married in November.